Yo, what's good, guys? So, with Egghead underway, it's really easy to forget that the Blackbeard pirates are out here floating in the Egghead Island vicinity, and I know I'm not the only person who thinks it's all fun and games until Blackbeard drops in, wrecks your and starts stealing devil fruits, right? I mean, just ask Law about how he turned his smile upside down. But with Blackbeard lurking in the background, you know it's only a matter of time before Egghead is thrown into absolute chaos, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Before we get started though, make sure you guys do me a solid, drop a like on the video, make sure you subscribe, guys. We're this close to being at 400 subscribers. Super excited about it. So if you want to be in that 400 crew, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we will be dropping videos this week and in the future on One Piece videos. And you already know the catchphrase. Let's get straight into it.
Hey, listen!
So the last time we checked in with Blackbeard himself, he was busy kicking Law's face in, getting ready to steal his devil fruit even. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people that thought Law's crew was just absolutely trash. Like, I was one of those people who was roasting Law's crew for its entire existence, saying that they never did anything, and even though they did the most that they've ever done during the Blackbeard fight, they still ended up getting their behinds handed to them. But I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for Beppo, Law would be dead right now. There's no doubt about that. So shout out to Beppo. But on top of that, the other half of the Blackbeard pirates have successfully captured Garp, even though Garp was giving them a serious case of the beats. Ultimately, he sacrificed himself so that his crew could get off of Hachinosu safely. Add all this to chapter 1079, where we see Blackbeard's ship pulling up to Egghead Island, and you come to the conclusion that Blackbeard has been getting busy in this final arc. So, what's next for the Blackbeard pirates, you ask? Well, Blackbeard, being the smart guy that he is, has left himself a couple of options open. He can now blackmail the world government with the likes of Garp being held hostage. He also has a poneglyph interpreter with Pudding's third eye ability. I guess Kobe forgot to free her. But as of now, it seems that all signs point to him pulling up on Egghead Island and wreaking absolute havoc. And I'm here for it. Now, I think when we first got to Egghead Island, I personally underestimated the significance that this arc was going to play in the overall final saga. When in fact, you have to put Egghead up there with the likes of Zoe and Punk Hazard. These arcs have a little bit of fighting, but they really serve as a transitional arc, pointing you in the direction of the next arc that will be much bigger and better. And that's what Egghead is to Elbaf. Since we've been on Egghead Island, we've learned that Saul is alive, and after the Ohara incident, he led a group of giants to take the research from Ohara back to Elbaf. Luffy and Chopper also discovered an ancient giant robot who was allied with Joy Boy and seems to be powered off of Luffy's heartbeat. And more recently in chapter 1090, with a conversation between Nami and Vegapunk, she mentioned that even though the log post wasn't done calibrating, they did lock onto an island due northeast when they left Wano. And Vegapunk wasted no time in telling them, oh yeah, that's Elbaf. So do I really need to explain why Egghead Island is a super duper important transition arc for Elbaf? That's what I thought. That being said, everybody on Egghead seems to have their roles written for them. Vegapunk wants to leave the island, and Luffy wants to help him achieve that. Bonnie wants to find a cure for Kuma's condition. The world government and Kizaru want to eliminate Vegapunk and stop the Straw Hats from doing any more damage to their already damaged reputation. And York is attempting to become a celestial dragon. Everybody has their own separate missions on Egghead that have been set in motion. Everybody except Blackbeard, that is. Now, even though we know that the Blackbeard pirates are here, we don't know who from the crew actually made it to Egghead Island. Last time we checked, the only Blackbeard pirates that were not accounted for is Katarina Devon and Lafitte. And I've gotta say, even if it is just those two, they make a dangerous combination when it comes to infiltrating enemy territory. Katarina Devon, we've already seen, has the mythical zone power of the nine-tailed fox, so she can transform into anybody at any time. And Lafayette, even though we don't know what his power is, he's already infiltrated Mary Joa and dropped in on the Gorosei while they were having a meeting, completely undetected. So if Blackbeard wanted those two to infiltrate Egghead Island, let's just say there's 100% chance that they're getting in. And I don't want to even minimize the idea that Blackbeard could pull up himself, even though it may seem like he has his hands full elsewhere and that he's on the other side of the world. Let's not forget that Van Augur has the warp fruit. He can warp him and his crew pretty much anywhere at any time, as we saw him and Kuzan infiltrate Whole Cake Island, kidnap Pudding, and get them both back to Hachinosu and the Blackbeard Pirates respectively in order to continue their missions. So if you don't think Blackbeard could pull up himself, I think that would just be us underestimating Blackbeard. And Blackbeard would love to use the chaos at Egghead Island as a ladder to infiltrate the island and get what he wants. And there's a couple of different ways that he can accomplish this. Firstly, he can form an alliance with York. Now, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but if you've ever listened to any of my former videos, you might have heard me mention about how disappointed I was in the fact that even though there was like 100 characters introduced in Whole Cake Island, there was not a single member of the Blackbeard Pirates the entire time. This led me to the idea that maybe Pudding was on the Blackbeard Pirates and that she had been double-crossing Big Mom. Her twisted personality of her going back and forth as to whether she wanted to kill Sanji or love him, inevitably siding with him, kind of annoyed me, to be honest. And with Jesus Burgess infiltrating Dressrosa just a couple arcs before, I thought this would have been a great opportunity for someone like Pudding, being Big Mom's daughter, to give us the oh shit moment that we all deserve and double-cross Big Mom and Sanji at the end and reveal that she was a part of the Blackbeard Pirates the whole time. You can imagine how disappointed I was. However, hope is not lost, and the same thing can play out with York. Even though we already know York has a motive and it's to be a celestial dragon, it doesn't seem like that's gonna end up being the case, and I have a feeling that as soon as Jay Garcia sees York eye to eye, he might try and kill her on sight. The Blackbeard Pirates being there might actually present York with an opportunity for them to help each other. York is a Vegapunk, which means that she would know all about devil fruits, Elbaf, and a slew of different technologies that could serve as a power boost for the Blackbeard Pirates. Also, she is a genius, and this would give Blackbeard the edge on his opponent. I could honestly see Blackbeard trying to take the actual OG Stella Vegapunk, but this might be too much of a risk considering Luffy would never allow that to happen, and I even see a scenario in which Kizaru steps in to either save Vegapunk or stop Blackbeard simply because it's his mission to kill Vegapunk, and as we've seen in Egghead so far, Kizaru doesn't really let anything get in the way of his mission, thus creating a scenario where we get light versus dark, the glint fruit versus the dark fruit. Two badass Logia users, a Yonko versus an Admiral that basically have the antithesis of each other's fruits. I would love to see this. Drop a like on the video if you would love to see this too. I love this idea not just because it's cool, but because it raises the stakes. Luffy, sure, you can get off of Egghead with Vegapunk, but it ain't gonna be easy. Our second scenario is that Blackbeard could do something really reckless and kidnap Saint J. Garcia. I actually spoke about this on a video that I did with Luffy with the pull-up. Shout out to him, and make sure you guys go check out those videos. We do chapter predictions on a semi-regular basis, so look out for those in the future. But a couple chapters ago, it was very obvious that Blackbeard was going to rapidly rise in the ranks of the Yonko this arc. Now, Morgans hasn't done any reporting yet, but we know that by the end of the Egghead Island arc, once the word gets out that Blackbeard has subsequently defeated Law, who has a 3 billion berry bounty, and served to help overthrow Big Mom and the Beast Pirates, and also kidnapped and is holding hostage a true Marine hero, not a sword member, he's going to get a massive bounty raised, and his infamy will be through the roof. And he'll definitely need a huge boost considering that Luffy has infiltrated yet another government island and is planning on kidnapping their top research and development scientists. I think it's safe to say that by the end of Egghead Island, not just Elbaf, but Egghead Island, both Luffy and Blackbeard might be within touching distance of 4 billion berry bounties, and Blackbeard will need to make some major moves if he wants to be up there next to Luffy and Shank by the time Elbaf gets underway. And what a better way to send a shockwave throughout the entire planet than to kidnap a Gorosei member. I think this would be super dope and a way for Blackbeard to put himself in a pole position for the wars to come. And this makes perfect sense because he already wants to play hardball with the world government. He made his intentions clear when he told Kobe that his plan was to hold him hostage in order to bargain with the world government to make Hachinosu a legitimate island that he would be king of. How could you have a better bargaining chip over the Gorosei than holding one of their own hostage? And honestly, he just seems like he's in a hostage holding mood. But guys, just imagine what the story would look like 10 chapters from now if Blackbeard has successfully infiltrated Egghead, teamed up with a Vegapunk, kidnapped one of the world's leaders. At that point, he would be considered the most dangerous pirate on the planet, even above Shanks, which is what you want going into the final saga. I know that seems kind of weird, but trust me, this is what you want. The final saga, in Oda's own words, it will be a battle royale where we'll see a lot of movement from a lot of different players. Now, with some help from Big News Morgans, Luffy's infamy has always preceded him along his journey. But Luffy isn't doing anything like this. And in this battle for the throne, it will be all or nothing, just the way Blackbeard likes it. Z ha 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 ha. But let me know what you guys think about the situation. Blackbeard is lurking around the corner, guys. We're not going to leave Egghead Island without him turning up. So let me know what you guys think. Will it be Blackbeard himself? Will it be Lafitte and Katarina Devon? Put your comment down below. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Stay safe. Stay healthy. This has been your boy, SifuThatGuy, coming to you live, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.